Good morning. Good morning. Rise and shine. It is Green Nurse Carey Lee and Sherri time. Welcome to the Green Nurse podcast, where we bring you hope and inspiration for growth and healing so you can start your day off the sunshiny way. We're going to start our show off with one of our beautiful little videos. Oh, she's got a unicorn. Wake up and be awesome. There you go. Absolutely. So we're going to start off with a little video just to inspire you all and to let you know how much we care and love you. This is a different one this morning.
We're here to educate and empower patients to make choices that are best for them. We're also here to decrease stigma around what it means to feel good and be high. Hence the H for hope, I for inspiration, G for growth, and H for healing. The Green Nurse is a holistic cannabis nurse that teaches on the endocannabinoid system and the safe utilization of cannabis and other progressive tools to help people reach a better quality of life.
I was cannabis agnostic for many, many years. And you know, the more research I did, the more I discovered that cannabis is this amazing medicine.
I was told that I had a 4-stage pancreatic cancer. The doctor really told me he couldn't do anything else. He gave me her name and she called me and she came to my house. She started to give me cannabis. My oncologist was puzzled because he couldn't find the cancer anymore.
All of the learning that we get comes from the Green Nurses group, comes from their support, comes from their guidance. I trust everything that she says.
Simply meet people where they're at. The plant doesn't, stress to grow, so we don't stress to share it. We're healing people.
Cannabis has been used as a medicine for tens upon thousands of years. Here's the big message. Cannabis needs to be federally legal. We need to have laws that are the same across all 50 states that allow access to anyone and everyone who wants to utilize this powerful medicine.
Powerful medicine. We are in powerful times. We are here to show you the positivity, the power of plant medicine. Yeah. Right? Here's another P word. Peace begins with me. Inhale, Ananda. Good morning. Welcome, everyone. I'm here with Green Nurse Iowa Carey Lee from Soul Thrive. She is absolutely amazing. She has taught me about the daily 5 to thrive. And she's here co-hosting with me every morning to bring you Happy Hempy Hump Day, Wild Wednesday. So Carey Lee, for the new viewers and the fans, please say hello to everyone and introduce yourself.
Hi, everybody. My name is Carey Lee Lure. I'm a registered nurse here in the great state of Iowa. I actually connect patients to Iowa's medical cannabidiol program. I teach them about the endocannabinoid system and the safe and effective methods to choose and utilize cannabis as medicine. So I'm also a nursing supervisor for Green Nurse and Holistic Caring and a ketamine nurse for Keta MD. So cannabis stigma fighter, boom, here we go.
Cannabis stigma fighter. That's exactly what we're here to do. We're here to decrease stigma around what it means to feel good, because we all deserve to feel good. I don't know. Right now we're going through some funky times. The change of the weather, the seasons, the holidays, the full moon lunar eclipse. That's right. Get those cards going, Carey Lee.
That's right, baby. It's like,
So one of the things that we start off with in the morning, this is one of the daily 5 to thrive. This is one of Denise's energized living 4 Ps, prayer and positivity. So what do? We decide in the morning to make a choice as to how we want to start our day. And so we want to share with you some of the tools that we use. And one of them is pulling cards. Because why? It's fun. It's fun. It feels good. It puts different images and thoughts into your mind, takes you out of the humdrum of what the morning might be like, and just maybe provide you with just a little tiny bit of inspiration. So Carey Lee, what deck are we pulling from today?
We are pulling from Colette Baron Reed's Spirit Animal Oracle deck. So let's see what we've got. I'm going to go ahead and split the deck in 3, and you pick a number 1 through 3, and that'll be our card.
Three. What do we got?
Ooh, snake spirit. Time to heal.
There you go. Ooh, I love that one. All
Time to
right.
heal. Yeah, that's interesting. So let's take a little gander. What's that one all about? Let's see. 55 is the number. 5 to thrive. Okay, so no matter how much you may have lost or how you've been disappointed, you're called by snake spirit to shed the past and practice radical self-acceptance now. So it's all about letting go and forgiving yourself.
There you go.
Right?
This is interesting. This is really cool card for a couple of reasons. When I first started healing, I got sick in 2012. I found cannabis medicine at the end of 2014 and started on my healing journey using this plant and started to need to think about how I could get out into the world to use this plant and feel normal using this plant in multiple different ways and being comfortable being a cannabis patient. And so one of the things that I used to do, I'd take my cannabis, I'd go into the woods with my camera and I'd sit down and I'd enjoy cannabis and I'd start taking photos. Well, what ended up happening is I started seeing repeating insects, animals, and, these spirit animals. And so one of the things that I started seeing a lot of in 2016, as a matter of fact, was snakes. Literally at one point in time, there was about 10 baby snakes trying to cross the road. I actually have a video of it. And so I started to look into what that meant. And for me, what it kind of meant was, yes, it's about shedding the past, about getting rid of that outside layer of what comes in from the outside that tries to stick in, the outside circumstances that try to stick to our meat suits, as I call it. Shedding that skin is letting it go, is going in and healing from the inside out. And as you start to heal, you start to change and you start to transform and you're able to let go of a lot. So it inspired me so much. And the other piece of it too is remaining grounded. So when we're grounded, right, we're connected to Mother Earth. We're fully in our bodies, embodying who we are. And so at that point in time, through my own transformation, right, I was out because sometimes when you get a little elevated, you can go out and have some fun. And then sometimes too, my imagination would take off. And the reminder of the snake was to come back in and get to the ground, to get grounded. Yeah. And so what ended up happening, I saw this so much that I ended up getting a tattoo on my arm. And I'm not going to take, because I got this big tight shirt on right now, I'm not going to take it off. But the tattoo is actually the Mother Earth's serpent of infinite love and divine wisdom. So it is a snake that is in the shape of the infinity, but also makes a heart. So that was very, very interesting how you pulled this card today, because of a lot of what's happening in the world today. And also personally with me, has to do with transformation. And the number 5, when you're looking at numerology, especially 3 5s, and it's funny that I picked the number 3, 555 is the number of transformation. So in numerology, so it was just really, really fitting that you picked that card. So radical self-acceptance for where we are right here, right now. Be like the snake, get to the ground, go in and heal and shed that skin. Boom.
I love that, Sherri. I love that. Thank you for sharing that.
Oh, you're welcome. It was but it's so perfect. That card was really, really perfect for today. Yeah. So Happy Hempy Hump Day. Today, what we're going to do is that, we talk a lot about different things, but I thought we would talk a little bit about CBG. CBG is a plant-based phytocannabinoid discovered in 1984. And we're going to go through it just a little bit. We talk about the plant medicine, the entourage effect. The plant has over 500 constituents to it: cannabinoids, terpenes, essential fatty acids, cannaflavins, bioflavonoids. So what we're doing is we're going to pull out one of those cannabinoids and we're going to talk about it. The reason why I want to talk about this cannabinoid is because it can be very effective for multiple different things. And also there's a couple of our green nurse approved vendors in our CBD marketplace that carry this product. And so we're going to get into that right now. I'm going to pull up the diagram. Carey Lee, do you want to get started on the notes that we have?
Absolutely. So let's see. We are talking about CBG today. So CBGA is actually the parent molecule of CBG in its acid form. This is where all the other plant-based cannabinoids are metabolized. So some of the medicinal effects that are, discovered with CBG would be pain relief, analgesic effects, muscle relaxant. It has antibacterial properties, so it helps slow bacterial growth. This is really important when we're dealing with infections, tough, resistant infections like MRSA. It's also known for its anticonvulsive properties, so this helps reduce seizures and convulsions. Powerful anti-inflammatory, other things, anti-insomnia, so this helps us with sleep. Here's a big, powerful one. Inhibits the cancer cell growth, known as an anti-proliferative. So this is with specifics towards prostate and colorectal cancer. And then we also have antidepressant properties, a bone stimulant. So this promotes bone growth. And then brain cell stimulant. So this helps promote new neuronal growth. And then an appetite stimulant. So this increases appetite. So wow, what a powerhouse this one little cannabinoid really is. I mean, hello, unbelievable.
Yep. And so then if you just think about when you combine it with the rest of the plant and all the other medicinal properties of the other cannabinoids, terpenes, essential fatty acids, cannaflavins, bioflavonoids, you really have a rich medicine. So we're going to go over really quickly to some of the receptors. So when we talk about receptors, people will be like, what's a receptor? Well, the endocannabinoid system is the largest neurotransmitter signaling system. We have receptors, these little discs on all of the cell surfaces of all of our 11 organ systems, our immune system, and those neurotransmitter signaling systems. So it has a low affinity for CB1 and CB2. So but it's associated with it, right? So when we talk about receptor systems and molecules that interact, there's agonists, antagonists, there's partial agonists, partial antagonists. We're not going to get into all of that, but to differentiate between the two is an agonist tells the body to do something. An antagonist is an inhibitor and tells the body to stop doing something. So we need to look at the endocannabinoid system as an on-off switch, dialing up, dialing down, different physiological systems at the same time to provide our body that homeostasis and balance that we need. So we can see all the receptors here up in this handy dandy diagram. And so I'm just going to go over a couple of it a little bit. So when we look at the TRPV, the vanilloid receptors, that mediates pain perception, inflammation, and body temperature. And then we have another one that mentions in Canakeys, and this is where we're pulling this diagram up from. There's one that's called TRMP8, and that inhibits that receptor signaling system, which plays a role in sensing cold temperatures and maintaining core body temperature. It's a moderate inhibitor of serotonin receptors. So it does a lot of different things. It works, CBG activates PPARY receptors, which works to decrease neuroinflammation. And it helps, this is the one that I love the most out of all of the things that CBG does. I want you guys to see my face when I say this. Stop.
I love you, Sherri. Yes, say it.
I'm like, I want you all to
say
know
it loud,
this.
Say it proud.
So the thing that I love about CBG is it helps us to stimulate our own anandamine molecule. That is big, right? The plant makes THC, we make anandamine, and the molecular structure is very, very similar. The THC molecule is 10 times stronger than our own anandamine molecule, or another way of saying that is the anandamine molecule is 1/10 the strength of the THC molecule. So the goal of cannabinoid therapeutics is to really start to stimulate our own endocannabinoid system to start producing its own internal endogenous cannabinoids. The goal is for us to create more of our own bliss-like molecule. The thing that I love about CBG is it's a great introductory for patients. It covers multiple different physiological systems in combination with the other plant, and it's non-impairing. Okay, yeah. So for people that are out there, yeah, non-impairing, which is really, really beneficial. So I'm going to put this handy dandy slide back up because I did want you guys to see my face for that one because it's important. It's really important for y'all to know that this is safe. So as we get more into this, you can see some of the top conditions that are related to the CBG studies and some of the disorders, that Carey Lee had talked about. Some of the other ones that weren't mentioned that I forgot to write about was glaucoma. So glaucoma, there's been studies, and we've got a couple studies down here that we'll get into in just a minute, but there's some studies that we found in Canakeys that we're going to review that talks about some of the benefits of what they found in the research. So the studies that we have here, we have the top conditions related to CBG studies. There was a total of 14 lab studies, 17 animal studies, 5 meta-analysis, 0 clinical, 0 human, and no double-blind placebo. And that's not unusual because, as you know, cannabis is still federally illegal. Most of the research is being done in other countries. So as a neuroprotective, here's a couple of studies that we're going to talk about. I'll talk about this first one and I'll let you do the second one. So a recent study in May of 2020 was conducted to compare the neuroprotective effects of CBD and CBG. The study's author said that CBD's effectiveness against neurological diseases has already been demonstrated. So CBD is effective with neurological diseases. And so what they did is they did experiments to quantify the difference between CBD and CBG. So the scientists conducted multiple tests to mimic the effects of neurological diseases on rat tissue. So both CBD and CBG proved effective, but when brain and spinal cord cells were exposed to the specific type of toxin, CBG was more potent than CBD in blunting neurotransmitter depletion. So the study concluded that CBG was also more potent than the CBD counteractivity in experiments that were done on rat brains. So anyways, the bottom line of the study is CBG is really beneficial, just like CBD, but in combination, it's more of a powerhouse combined. And then there's some studies here, Carey Lee, on neurodegeneration.
Yeah, in 2018, there was a study on mice with relation to Parkinson's disease. They found that the CBG offered neuroprotection against damage caused by the inflammation. And then another study in 2018 was carried out on CBG's effect on neuroinflammation. This is defined as an inflammatory response within the brain or the spinal cord. So this in vitro study found that CBG was effective at reducing neuronal death and inflammation and oxidative stress. So that is huge. In particular, CBG restored cell antioxidant defense. Huge.
There you go. Wow.
Huge.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really good. So neurodegeneration. And then we get into, where are we here? Multiple sclerosis, right? 2014 study in mice said that CBG has been shown to alleviate symptoms in a viral model of multiple sclerosis.
Yeah.
What else? Did we miss any of the other ones? There's just a couple here. There's a lot of studies. I just pulled up some of the big ones. Oh, here's another one.
The Huntington's disease study in 2015. CBG was extremely active as a neuroprotectant. What is the common denominator here? Neuroprotection. I mean, in this day and age of inflammation, and I think neuroprotection is super important to brain health. What do you think about that? Mm-hmm.
There's nothing more important than our brains, for sure. So really doing everything we can to protect. And that's one of the 4 P's of energized living: protection, right? How do we protect our bodies? We protect our bodies multiple different ways, utilizing foods, cannabinoids, adaptogens, taking care of ourselves, our minds, our body, and our spirit. And we talk about that. So there's one other thing I want to bring up too. And this was a new one. And I didn't know this. And this has to do with an ion channel. It's one of those, it's right up here on the screen. I don't know if you can see my cursor, the TRMP8. So there were scientists were looking at CBG's effect on this receptor and its potential to prevent and fight cancer. Okay, so TRMP8 stands for transient receptor potential melastin member 8. So it's known as the cold and menthol receptor because it reacts to cold temperature and cooling agents as well as warming capsaicin. So there can be an irregular expression. What does that mean? Is that it doesn't do what it's supposed to do. And it's been linked to the growth of tumors in prostate, breast, bladder, colorectal, pancreatic, and skin cancers. So CBG was shown to inhibit the growth of specific cancers in mice through that TRPM8 channel in a 2014 experiment. And then there was another experiment research that was done in 2018 on breast cancer. And that study found that taking CBG, THCA, THC together was more effective than THC alone on both cell cultures and living animals. So this is another plug for why we like whole plant medicine.
Absolutely.
Utilizing, yeah. And then there's one last one. 2020 Israeli researchers found that CBG and CBC, which we're going to talk about, that's cannabichrome, exhibit anti-tumor properties as tested on human gastrointestinal cancer cells. So this is good news, everyone. This is good news. We really CBG has been huge for me, and I'll just share with you how I use it. As a matter of fact, I used it this morning because I'm a little under the weather, and sometimes I wake up with nausea, and I have issues with sleep. Here I am showing up. I'm still a patient. I'm a nurse, but I'm also a nurse patient, and so I take care of my endocannabinoid system. And so CBG dabbing, so concentrates, sometimes I use in the morning if I'm extremely nauseous and tired and need to eat and want to clear my head and don't want to use THC. So that's actually what I did this morning. I'm going to show you my little, Carey Lee turned me on to this. This is called the Luca. and it's a little pen, and a little dab will do ya, right?
Little dab will do ya, baby.
So this here has a concentrate in it. It's CBG that I got from a medicine maker. And basically, I dabbed a little bit of it this morning because I was too nauseous to be able to get anything else. Let me just tell you, it worked. It worked right away. I was able to get into my supplements, and it cleared me out like that fog. I'm literally blown away because an hour ago I was like, I don't know if I can come on this right?
Aww.
And so this is what's,
and now you feel better. Thank you, plant medicine.
Thank you so much, plant medicine. Yeah, for helping me to feel better. So Carey Lee, what about you? Because I know, here it is. This is the part that's so interesting that I love about cannabis, about plant medicine, how we're all so different, and how CBG might not be a good one for certain people. So what's your experience with that?
I mean, I'm a big fan of CBG, don't get me wrong, but certain times of the year, I do have to avoid certain cannabinoids that give that real extra, you're going to get hungry, that appetite stimulant factor for CBG. This time of the year for me, I avoid it because I am right now experiencing horrible carb cravings because I'm battling seasonal affective disorder. And so that's one of the cardinal symptoms of seasonal affective disorder is you just really crave all those nasty, I'm going to call them nasty, but they taste delicious, donuts and cakes and carbs and pasta and pizza and all that junk. Well, guess what? I don't want to add anything to my, regimen that's going to make me want it even more.
Right.
So in that, but you know what, in the summertime when I'm going, I may kind of add it. I like the thought of adding CBG or any of this stuff really kind of as a supplementation, just a little bit to enhance, get the health benefits. You know what I mean? Just
totally agree.
Yeah.
And CBG too has been instrumental in helping with my gastrointestinal, disease, working, keeping my gut healthy, really, really powerful.
About that. It helps people with tummy problems very much so.
Amazing. Like literally I wish I had it in front of me. So we're going to actually pull up right now because I figured out how to do this. We're going to pull up our Green Nurse approved marketplace. I'm really, really excited to share this with you all. It's just getting launched. Let me share the screen and we'll go through it.
And while you're doing that, I just want to shamelessly plug Nurse Grown Organics has just released their they have a 15 100 milligram bottle of CBG. So they just released that this week. It's very exciting to have that added to their product line. And yeah,
they're one of our Green Nurse approved
yes, they are.
companies.
Absolutely.
So here we go. I want to show you guys. I'm so proud of this. Actually, this has been a labor of love.
Wow.
Because we care and we love you guys. So we've come up with Green Nurse approved products, navigating plant medicine, guiding you on your journey to wellness. So people are making great medicines. We know that. People are selling these amazing medicines. But deep down, is anyone truly interpreting how to use these medicines for patients? Well, they try, but guess what? That's what we do. So as we know, the first rule of medicine is to do no harm. You know, right now it's an unregulated marketplace with limited knowledge and a lot of opportunity. And so there's bound to be some glitches. So the FDA did spot checks and found only 30% of CBD labels were accurate. So we are really here to educate and empower you. You know, we, the Green Nurses at Holistic Caring, we've taken on that duty to vet quality medicines because we care deeply about our clients' health, safety, and goals to achieve good medicines. You know, bad ones disappoint patients. And the last thing we want to do is to educate patients on these plant medicines and to have them come back to us and say, it didn't work, right? So it's really about education. And so we like to look at good manufacturing practices, you know, companies who use those good practices, GMP, potency, purity, their certificates of analysis, USDA certified organic and flower derived. So that's what we're looking for. So on our website, we have Green Nurse approved. Shop now. You click there and look at this.
Yes.
Ooh, look at all these really cool. Yeah. And we're adding more every single day. So Nurse Grown Organics. Okay. Jamie Rollins is coming on tomorrow. Hey, Jamie, I love you, girl. And she is in charge of the affiliate program at Nurse Grown Organics. She's also one of the Green Nurses, one of our supervising nurses, and she's also the chief nursing officer at Keta MD. So I'm going to click on Nurse Grown Organics here because we're plugging them today because they're awesome. So they are clean green certified. Last week, I had Jamie Rollins on the show, and we talked about Nurse Grown Organics and what that means. So clean green certified farmers, they hold the highest standards for both cultivation, harvesting, and processing. So they actually make really, really great medicines. And if you're interested, you just go right there and look up. And that's the cart. That's so cool. You got to put in 20. I'm going to say,
no peeking.
All right, here we go. And here's Nurse Grown Organics, full panel, third-party lab tested, full spectrum whole plant, right? And so I love this. What is clean green? Isn't this great?
Say that I personally use Nurse Grown organic products. I incorporated them into my daily regimen. So yeah. Excellent, high quality.
Excellent, excellent high quality. Yeah. And they actually just came up with a CBG tincture. And I want to see if I can find that. Oop, our products. Here we go. They have it. Here we go. Boom. CBG oil, right?
Oh, Jessie
Isn't this
Lynn.
great?
Congratulations,
all right, Jessie Lynn.
Girl.
Here's another thing. This is the other thing you need to understand. You need to look at the certificate of analysis. So she just literally just launched this product, just put in her shop. Blog just came out today. So I want to congratulate Jessie Lynn and Jamie Rollins for doing such an amazing job at Nurse Grown Organics. So I'm going to stop that screen share.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Amazing.
Good stuff.
It is good stuff.
Yeah. And so listen, we need you guys to come and hang with us in the community, right? So join us here in the community. You can go to greennurse.com or holisticcaring.com. We're there. We have support group. It's a free introductory to cannabis course, free support group, free patient portal, free book club, Cannabis for Health, Become a Coach. Elizabeth Mack wrote this book, and, I'll be working with a lot of patients and they're like, I don't want to coach anyone. I go, it's not just anyone, y'all. you want to coach yourself, right? There's no one more important than you. And so this is a great little handy dandy book. You know, I've got it highlighted, and I've been using a lot of education from here. So Elizabeth's created that for us as well. So join us in the community. And this has been an awesome show, fully jam-packed. I could keep going, but I'm trying to keep it under 30 minutes. You know?
You just hit the mark, girl. Perfect timing. Perfect.
Just hit the mark. Absolutely. So I don't know about you, Carey Lee, but you know, I'm gonna pay attention to radical self-acceptance today.
Yeah.
I'm gonna remind myself that we are in a period of transformation. And I'm going to remind myself that I have the most amazing system in my body called the endocannabinoid system that wants me to take care of it because it is the most important system in my body. And it's going to help me do what, Carey Lee?
Live your best life and show others how to do the same.
Absolutely. We love you guys. Thank you so much. Join us tomorrow morning. We got a special show for you tomorrow morning. We have Green Nurse Michelle on, and we're going to talk about animals, the endocannabinoid system, and how to medicate dogs. Stick with us. We love you all.